Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited to be back with you guys. Today we have a seafood ramen. I have some mussels, some shrimp, and some snow crab legs in it today. So let's get into the video. And also I am doing part 2 of my story time. So let's get into the video. I'm gonna say my grace and we're gonna get it in. Amen. So, I also have some kimchi on the side. And I have hoisin sauce and some soy sauce as well. And to drink, I have my favorite, LaCroix. And I got some just plain water as well in my SU cup. There you go, my SU cup. So I'm starving, y'all. I tried not to eat all day, but I've been up since really early in the morning. So I had to stop and get a little what is that thing called? A slider from Arby's. So that's what I did. So today is Wednesday, and on Wednesdays, I'm gonna start doing ramen from around the world. So this is my first ramen from around the world. So this is Korean ramen. So this is Korean seafood ramen. And I just added some seafood in it, and I forgot my seaweed over there. I had some seaweed strips. This is hot. I also put some extra vegetables in here. So there's some carrots, some shredded, there's a Brussels sprouts. There's all kinds of stuff up in here. But I think I'm gonna add some soy and probably a little bit of hoisin in a minute. I mean, there's just so much in here. I'm popping myself with the broth. There's so much in here, but it's so good. So how are you guys doing? Everything is so hot. It's hard to touch it. I cooked the seafood in the water while the broth was cooking. While it was cooking. So that way it'll give a more seafoody flavor, I guess you can say. But it's just so hot. I literally forgot my napkins over there. Excuse me. I'm back. All right. I can't believe I did that. I forgot. And I specifically said I gotta grab my napkins. And I didn't. Shrimp. I didn't give y'all a bite. I'm so sorry, you guys. I'm just so hungry. There's a shrimp. The shrimp are small because I got the small ones. Because I knew I would have a lot of seafood in here. So, eat some broth. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I did not taste this before I plated it because I knew I was gonna be adding some stuff. Ouch. Some stuff in it. So, I'm not. There we go. Alrighty. So I love hoisin sauce. It brings like a sweetness to everything, and it's just so good. I'm probably gonna taste this like 5 times before I, say that, hey, this tastes the way I want it to taste. I always do that. Like, I can barely move anything around because there's like a big, snow crab at the bottom. I only have 1 snow crab in here, and I have about 8 mussels. So, all right, let's taste and see. Good. I like that sweet heat type of situation. So, anyway, guys, I have been away for a little minute. I've just been kind of busy doing stuff with life. But I didn't forget about you guys. I wanted to come back with this seafood. With this seafood ramen. So good. So good. Oops. Sorry, guys. This is really good. Normally I would put like an egg in here, but there's so much like seafood in here that there's no need for an egg, and I forgot to buy eggs anyway, so oh well. So good. Kimchi. Seaweed. This is just the plain, the seaweed I have is just the plain seaweed that's just seasoned with salt. It just kind of, gives it a more sea-like taste, for lack of a better word. So, anyway, I've made up in my mind that so good. I've made up in my mind that I am going to film for right now twice a week. So definitely Wednesdays, because that's when I'm going to do my ramen series from around the world. And probably Fridays or Saturdays. It just depends on if I have something to do. But so for right now, it'll be definitely Wednesday, unless something comes up, and Friday or Saturday. So, but yeah. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm trying to kind of get on like a regimen, a schedule, and everything like that. It's just been like really crazy and, you know, stuff like that. So, but, let's get into part 2 of my story time. So, if you've been watching my videos, then you would know that I started a story time on what it's like dealing with an autoimmune diagnosis. So I literally I'm starting from the beginning of my journey, like the very top of it. It's been 10 years. This month makes 10 years, so, you know, a decade. But anyway, so I left off with I had been admitted to the hospital with pneumonia. So I'm in the hospital. They're treating me for pneumonia, and I'm not getting better. I'm just not. They don't know what's going on. They don't know why I'm not getting better. I ended up having to get a blood transfusion. I had never had a blood transfusion before. The hospital that I was at is considered a rural hospital. So the nearest major city is New Orleans, and that is like maybe an hour and a half away, I think. But anyway, that's where they had to get the blood from, was New Orleans. So they had to wait for New Orleans to okay me getting not gonna eat that one. Transfusion. They had to okay the blood to make sure that it was okay to, you know, give. So I had to wait, and it was like hours, and I'm waiting there in my hospital bed, very sick, waiting. And they were like, if your chest starts hurting, please let us know immediately, because it means that I was gonna go into getting ready to go into cardiac arrest, pretty much. So my mom is with me. And we're waiting. These muscles are really good. So they told us that morning that I was gonna need a blood transfusion because I basically had no blood, and they don't know why I didn't have any. They couldn't understand why. Basically, I was like still alive. They couldn't understand anything, like what was going on, why I wasn't getting better, why, you know, don't I have any blood? Why am I still here? So the blood did not come until 9 o'clock that night. It was 9. And, excuse me, I am just starting to feel like worse and worse and worse and worse. And just very weak. Wasn't eating anything. I mean, people that were coming to my room, my family, they were eating my food. They literally were sitting and eating my lunch tray. My mom ate my breakfast tray. Like, they were just eating my food. So I was hooked up to all of these machines and everything, and they just couldn't tell me what's wrong. So I got the transfusion, It took 8 hours. It took 8 hours, and they come and check the first hour. They come and check like every 15 or 20 minutes, I think. And then after that, they check like every 30, I think, or 45 minutes, something like that. To make sure that the blood is flowing correctly and there's no, you're not rejecting it. So it's just a whole process, a long process. I kind of fell asleep because I was not feeling good. But they would wake you up. I mean, when they came in to check you anyway. So they're doing that, and I got the blood transfusion. I kid you not, the next day I felt great. I felt amazing. I still really wasn't eating that much, but that was like the best I had felt in like literally forever, like as long as I can remember. So they were like, wow, you look, your color is back. Your color is back, you look great. You know, I was like, I feel great, you know. So the next day came. So this was the second day after I had the blood transfusion. They ran tests, and guess what? I had no blood. It went away. It went away. It went away. So they didn't want to give me another blood transfusion. And they told me, the doctor came in, and he said, Ms. Washington, there's nothing else that we can do for you. I mean, I literally just kind of like looked and was like, what you mean? You know. Ooh, that was hard to open. My eyes said, what you mean? But my mouth was like, okay. But he was like, we're going to have to transfer you to another hospital. And I was like, okay. He was like, you have to go by ambulance. So I said, okay. That was the longest ride I had ever taken. Because I had no blood, which means that I didn't have enough oxygen. So I was on 100% oxygen. And to me, it still was not enough. It still wasn't enough. I asked the EMT, was the oxygen on? And he was like, yes. And I was like, is it on high? Like 100%? He was like, yeah. I was like, I don't have enough. I was like, can you turn it up even more? And he's like, Ms. Washington, it's already on 10. I was like, I can't breathe. I literally could not catch my breath. I just couldn't. I was like this. Like panting. Because I could not catch my breath. Because I had no oxygen, and that's what happens. So they were trying to get me to that other hospital like as fast as they could. But ambulances only go so fast, even when they have the lights on. So I get to my room, and they wheel me to my room, and the doctor came in. Now, mind you, this was like midnight. I can drink the broth like all day. The doctor came in and he was like, I mean, she was like, she looked at me to do her assessment. My back is itching, y'all. I'm sorry. She looked at me to do her assessment, like doctors do when they're seeing a patient for the first time. And the first thing that came out of her mouth to me was, Miss Washington, you look not right. She was like, you don't look good. Those were her exact words. You don't look good. I literally was like hanging off the edge of the bed. Like, I don't know how I got there, but I remember my head was kind of like almost off the bed. I was on the edge of it. And she was just like, you don't look good. So I had to immediately go from my regular room. They sent me to the ICU. It was called MIC, Medical Intensive Care. I was in the medical intensive care. They brought me there. And the last thing that I remember the nurse saying was, Miss Washington, take a breath. The last thing I said was, no. And I yelled, no, no. And that's all I remember until I woke up. So I'm going to end right there with me being admitted to the ICU. And I'll pick up on part 3 on my next video. So I hope you guys had a wonderful day. I hope y'all have a great tomorrow. I really love talking to y'all. It's been a while since I have revisited my whole beginnings of, being diagnosed and everything. Just the whole trauma of it and everything. It's been just a long time since I've actually sat down and spoke about it in detail. I mean, I say stuff, but it's been like a very long time that I really, really sat down and talked about it and everything, and all the trauma and everything that goes along with it. So I thank you guys for listening. I thank y'all for subscribing. If you're not subscribed, click the subscribe button and click the notification bell. Like this video, leave me a message. I do answer right back. And everything. And I will see you guys in the next one. I love you. And as always love yourself. Peace.